What's up, YouTube? We're going to go ahead and break down a John Deere combine inspired Starship and build this from the bottom up, present you with a nice, easy to follow build guide. Give me just 1 second as I break it down, and then I'll be right back with you for the Snap 2 build guide. All right, before we get started with this build, the only specialty part you're going to have to make sure you have is the Hope 55 landing gears. Make sure you buy 4 of those from Hope Tech, and then make your way over to your outpost landing pad with Shipbuilder, and all the other components will be available for you to build at your outpost. Once there, drop down a Teo Engineering Bay 3x1 bottom A to get started. Make sure it's the bottom variant with no connectors on the side. So that's the bottom A, Teo 3x1 Engineering Bay. Behind that, bring in your grab drive. And we're going to be using the J52 Gamma grab drive. And then just behind that, go ahead and connect your Deimos 120 LD landing bay. Next, bring in a Deimos hole A and duplicate 1 to each side. And then drop down a Nova Caling 2L and connect one on your port side, and then duplicate it and flip it and connect one over to the aft side, or the starboard side rather. Then go ahead and bring in a Nova radiator and duplicate that twice to fill these gaps. And that's the bottom of our John Deere combine right there. Next up, bring in a Teo control station 2x1 mid. Doesn't have to be a control station if you don't want it to. And then bring in a Teo cowling. Make sure you flip it upside down so it's showing the 4 bottom. Okay, and then duplicate that and flip it. And now you should be able to snap this one in right here, but it'll be red. So just flip it twice and cancel. Next, bring out your Hope 55 landing gear and place one at the front of your 2x1, and then duplicate it and flip it to the other side. And then bring out a Teo side cap and attach that right here, and then duplicate it and flip it and bring one to the other side. Next, bring out another Teo 2x1 mid. I'm using an all-in-one berth, and place that on top of your landing bay. And then grab a Poseidon DT 230 engine and place one at the port side of the back of your 2x1, and then duplicate it and place one on the other side. And now you could select both of these side caps and duplicate them and bring them over here to the 2x1. Next, I want you to duplicate a Deimos hole and just bring it off to the side here, and then duplicate that once more. And then select both of those and duplicate them and put them on top of your 2x1 hab here next to your grab drive. And then grab your reactor and place that right on top of your grab drive. And now we're going to duplicate drop down the reactor into the grab drive. So select your reactor in this bottom Deimos hole and duplicate. They'll drop down, and then select this bottom reactor in this bottom Deimos hole and duplicate down. Now you can delete these top 2 reactors, these bottom 2 Deimos holes, and these top 2 Deimos holes, and we're looking at this. All right, now grab another Teo 2x1. I'm using another control station here. Having the 2 control stations is going to give me my maximum crew of 9. Well, 8 is your max, but I'm using both of these so that I could have up to 8. And next you'll want to grab a Deimos belly, flip it to the aft position and attach it back here to the back. And then just flip it twice and cancel. And then bring out a Deimos cowling aft. And you're going to snap that right here and flip that twice and cancel. Next, you could bring out some more Teo side caps and put one on both of these sections of the 2x1. And then what you're going to do is duplicate, flip, attach to the other side, duplicate, flip, attach to the other side. You can grab a Stroud companionway 2x1 and just place that right here. And then we're going to grab a Teo 2x1 top A and put it right here. And I'm using an all-in-one top A. After that, grab a porthole 4 and attach it to the front of that Teo 2x1. Okay, just like that. And now grab another Teo 2x1. And I'm using a workshop. This is a 2x1 mid section. And grab an overseer bridge and attach that right there in the front. Okay, then you'll bring out one more Teo 2x1 mid. I'm using an infirmary in this spot. And then bring over a Deimos bumper and attach it right here. And then duplicate that and flip it to the other side. And then duplicate it and change the variant to a mid and put it here. And then duplicate that, flip it, and bring it to the other side. Next, we want to duplicate a Poseidon engine and bring that right here, flip it twice, and cancel. And then grab a M50 Ulysses helium tank. And you're going to attach that right here. Duplicate that, flip it to the other side. And now go ahead and really quickly duplicate this Hope 5 landing gear and snap it in this position. And then duplicate that and flip it. And attach one to the other side. Okay, while we're over here, you can duplicate this piece, this Teo side cap, and bring one up here. And we can put our shield down right here. All right, next, bring out a Hope Tech Hab cross brace. Sorry, folks, these are specialty. This is a specialty part. If you don't have this at this point of the build, you'll have to go to Hope Tech and finish up this part of the build. So if you don't have this, that's fine. Just bring out a Deimos docker. You could really bring out any one of these like top dockers at this point, and you'll just connect it to any hab for now. And that way you'll be able to save this ship and go over to Hope Tech and grab this. But I will put a shopping list as I edit this. I'll put a shopping list, so hopefully you grab that. Hopefully you grab this at the beginning, even though I didn't talk about it. I will put it on screen. All right, so then put the Hope cross brace here, duplicate it, put it here, and then bring out a Hope 11 Docker port, and you're going to connect that right there. Next, bring Deimos hole A up top here, duplicate it up, and then duplicate it over your shield, and then duplicate it onto your shield. And that's how we're going to cover the shield. And then lastly is our weapons, and I'm gonna be hiding all my weapons. So what you're gonna want to do is grab one more Deimos hole, duplicate this one and put it here, and then bring out a Deimos belly and put that in the 4 position right there. And that's ultimately that's your build. So again, if you don't have these hab cross braces, so you can't build this part right now, don't worry about it. Just grab any docker, like you could grab this top docker, and you could just put that right there, and that's you're gonna be savable. You'll be savable without this docker. And then you can just go to Hopetown and pick up these parts. Sorry that I didn't mention that at the beginning. All right, duplicate that. So now what we're gonna do, if you guys know me, you already know, you know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna be putting all of our weapons into one hidden location. I do this on all my ships. You don't have to, but I like to. I just like my weapons hidden. All right, so bring out an equipment plate and place it on top of this Deimos hole, and then you can delete the Deimos hole and duplicate the equipment plate down. Now go ahead and grab one of your weapons. In my case, I'm using Disruptor 3340 Alpha Beams, Obliterator, turrets, and Devastator missiles. Not sure why. I don't want those Devastators. I'm gonna actually use some Atleys. Some Atlee 208Cs. Most of these ships I built while I was working on my skills, so I had certain weapons just to fly around Serpentis and blow up ships with different weapons to rank my skills up. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and slap on some of these. All right, so what you'll do is grab your first weapon and put it onto the bottom equipment plate, and then duplicate it and bring it up once. For my Atlee missiles, I could hold 3 of them to get max power, so I'm going to duplicate this down twice. So I'll duplicate that, and then I'll duplicate that, and now I have 3 down here, so I can delete that and these extra Deimos holes. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Obliterator turrets, but I'm going to put 1 4, and then I'm going to put 1 port, and I'm going to put 1 starboard. So I'm going to start off with my port, or my 4, and I'm going to duplicate that down, and then I'm going to change it to a port and duplicate that down, and then I'm going to rotate it to starboard, and I'm going to duplicate that down. And then now I just have to do my Disruptor 3340s. So I'm going to put 1 here, and I'm going to duplicate that down 4 times. And then you can delete these, delete all these, and then duplicate this up, duplicate it over, and duplicate it down, and delete those top 2. And that's it, folks. That's it. All you got to do now is assign your weapons to get rid of your last error. And then you could go ahead and give it a name. I called mine the John Deere. You could call it whatever you want. And that's your combine. I hope you liked this video. If you did, drop me a like, and we'll catch you on the next one. Till next time, everybody, peace out.